All right, everyone, we're going to get started tonight. Thank you all for being here, present and on time. We are going to begin with the roll call. AC Welch. Here. President Becker. Here. Deepa Murphy. Birthday. Oh. DPSA Tombo. Thanksgiving. Treasurer Ercolani. Here. Assistant Treasurer Weber. Here. Ace Chair Mystic. Services Coordinator Tibatamwa. Here. Council Chair Christensen. DOC Logan. Here. Senator Stallings. Here. Senator Christian. Here. Senator Monteforte. Here. Senator Moen. Here. Senator Vale. Sir Sub. Senator Gumidiala. Here. Senator Jones. Here. Senator Lloyd. Here. Senator Zernig. Here. Senator Nieto. Sir Sub. Senator Curie. Senator McDowell. Here. Senator Herbert. Senator Pedro Santa. Here. Senator Collinger. Here. Senator Pierce. Here. Senator Knapp. Senator Tiberwald. ACES Co-Director DeRoche. ACES Co-Director Coleman. ACES Outreach Coordinator Preston. Green Fund Co-Chair Higginhauser. Here. Technical Advisor Gould. Here. CBS Delegate Hill. SHIC Delegate Cheslak. Here. Scarlet and Black Delegate Bulkey. Okay. So now we're going to move into the approval of the minutes. We do need to vote on this, so do I see a motion to the previous question? Senator Tiberwald, anyone second that? Senator Pedro Santa? Okay, so all those in favor of voting on the approval of the minutes, raise your hands nice and high. All those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay, now the polls are actually open to vote on the approval of last Student Senate's minutes. And that is magic number. With all those in favor, that passes. So now we can begin. Item number 3, public comments, announcements, and additional events. Does anyone have any comments? Is that, I'm sorry, I don't, sandwich, SHIC Delegate Cheslak. Can we get a mic to Delegate Cheslak, please?
Hello. Okay. Today, Holotzium hosted Bagel Brunch for the first time this semester, and I just wanted to say thanks because ACE helped fund it, and it went really well, and a lot of people came, and they're doing it again next month, so.
Thank you. Any other public comments, announcements, or events? President Becker, can we get a mic down, please? Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge Lana's awesome piano playing on Friday at the talent show.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments, announcements, or events? AC Welch?
Hey everyone, at Senators, if you have not signed up for time to meet with me in the doodle poll, there's only times left tomorrow. If you're free at all tomorrow and you want to do it then, we can meet then, sign up for the doodle poll. If not, we will do it after Thanksgiving, but we will meet. I will find you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? No? Okay. We're going to move on to the ACE budgets. Since ACE Chair Mystic is not here, do we have anyone else that was at committee that would like to present this? Okay, Treasurer Ercolani. Thank you.
Yeah, so we had a couple of budgets this week. The community meal for the Class of 21 class ambassadors was asked to go to Services Committee. If we can pull back up the budgets, please.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you. Drake Gardner got more money than they initially requested because we suggested that they purchase more of the elastic wristbands that they were planning on purchasing, as well as we changed their pizza order to be what we normally get. Arctic Lights came through. We gave them more money because of the fact that we wanted them to have 2 dozen gluten-free bagels rather than 1 dozen gluten-free bagels. The SALSC budget was just an addition to the previous budget that had been passed for them because of unexpected costs that arose from catering, and the SLA pre-election study break is, the location is going to be Loose Lounge, and that was just approved in full without any modifications. If anybody has any questions.
Any questions or comments on the budget allocations? Senator Jones?
How often is it that you can go over your original budget and then come back and get an additional $350?
Only when you do it before you've actually spent the money.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a policy that if you have funding that is in the application pipeline before you spend, like, we can still consider your request. This was requested before the event took place, and we just said we were going to handle it when the committee took place rather than doing an emergency vote because it was $21.
Thank you.
Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, Treasurer Ercolani, do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay, I interrupt this broadcast. Do you mind? Just a shout out to another fellow talent show competitor. I took this picture of our Reverend President, sent it to Dylan, and just want you all to see this. Miles participated in a hot dog eating contest. He did a great job. So let's give him a round of applause. Treasurer Ercolani,
I have a question for Reverend President Becker.
go for it.
How'd you do?
The hot dogs won. I came in last. I get it because the champion. I'm a marathon eater. I'm not like a short distance. Everyone.
Including a...
Yeah, I did lose to a vegetarian.
All right, that is our broadcast interruption. Now back to the schedule. So, item number 5, budgets, SPC, and, SPC and services budgets. So Joshua, can we get a mic to Joshua, please? Thank you.
Hey guys, very few people showed up today, which kind of made me happy. I received about 8 budgets, only 3 people actually showed up. I'll reach out to the other groups to find out what happened. Anyway, we had the Body Positivity Club. They came to seek funding for training. We had initially said this is a lot of money, can you try finding it somewhere else? Unfortunately, nowhere else seemed willing to fund them, and we appreciated the initiative they took, and they've been doing some really great stuff. Gourmet Society came back, they wanted funding for their next 2 meals. SLA had a request for a life science cutout for painting, and the committee thought that this wasn't the best use of SPC funding, so they declined it. Any questions?
Treasurer Ercolani?
I'm just gonna make a note that the $200 for the life-size cutout of President Kington was not approved during SBC, but it was part of the SLA pre-election study break budget that was eventually passed.
So there will be a cutout of President Kington.
Yes, there will.
Thank you. Any other questions on the SPC budgets? Any comments, thoughts, feelings? No. Joshua, do you have anything left to add?
Please ask
Oh,
questions.
Senator Collinger, do you have something to add?
Hello. Where is the life-size poster gonna be? Just so I can keep it in mind. You know?
So after it's used for 1 or 2 events that SLA will be working on, it will be stored in the inventory system along with the Drake cutout and the Bieber cutout. And can be checked out by any group that is doing an event or sort of project or whatnot. available to any student of Grinnell College, a life-size cutout of our dear, dear
Good to
president.
know. Good to know.
Not
Everyone write that down. Put that in an email to the constituents.
Thank you. Can we get a mic to the back? Oh, before that, services coordinator Tibutamwa.
This should be obvious, but I caution, please be respectful with it. Like, yes, send it out and tell everyone that it's there, but we are SGA and the way we act is noted, so please be careful.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say too, because at the ACE committee, something we also talked about was even though we have to cut out, SGA is not going to be like technically liable because the cutout is never going to be the problem, it's going to be the intent of the people using it. But it's important that every time someone uses it to make sure that they know what they're doing and they don't do something dumb that reflects badly on students, and just ends up in a messy situation for everyone.
Thank you. Senator Zernig.
I'm just curious if I could get an update from Joshua or Treasurer Orgolani about the budgets, like how deep we are into the ACE services and SBC budgets for the semester.
So I just checked SPC, we have about 1,537 last I checked, and services is a little over 1,000, so we're about to run out real soon.
Point of inquiry, is that for the year or for the semester?
Semester.
Thank you.
Oh gosh, we are not the 2007 SGA. We are not running out of money this semester. So I've been in the midst of my mid-semester review process, so that way we're set through the end of the year. I'll be coming back next time we have Student Senate, be it next Sunday or the Sunday after, with some revisions to committee budgets and yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to add? No? Okay, thank you for the budget presentations. Next, we're going to move on to a discussion on the changes to the ITS password policy, Pioneer Web, and updates from ITS.
Alright, this is more of an update than a discussion. But, so ITS is going to revamp our learning management system, which is PWeb. And right now they're going through a requirements gathering process from faculty about what changes faculty wants to see in it. And we're thinking about doing some requirements gathering from students. So we're thinking about best ways to gather input from students about what their gripes are with the current system, or about new features they'd like to see on an updated learning management system. And so one of the things that we brainstormed was sending out a Qualtrics survey with asking for suggestions. So I'd like to hear any input from you guys, not necessarily about gripes about PWeb, but about how you think would be the best way to get feedback from students en masse. Progress is made on sites for student groups. So in case you didn't know, the idea is when you're forming a new student group, in the same process where you go to ITS and get an email account for your group, you can also have the option of getting your own website, like SGA's website, for your student group, which would come with a nice, easy-to-use WordPress template, and editing that would be as easy as editing a Google Doc. So the tech behind that, I've been told, is already ready, and we're just waiting on Web Governance Committee to draft up policies for the group leaders, basically saying that, yeah, we'll keep the site accessible and acceptable, and then also the communications department will automatically scan sites under the Grinnell domain anyways for accessibility. Every person at the college who's not a student already has a 20-character password requirement, which we have something like 8 characters, plus some extra like capitalization or special character requirements. ITS will be phasing in the 20-character password requirement for students, which, yeah, sounds rough at first. We all like our passwords. But this one wouldn't have any other requirements other than being 20 characters long, so the argument is that, you can just pick a quick, easy-to-remember phrase that doesn't have a bunch of gibberish in it. And that's because more student counts are being jeopardized than we thought in terms of like phishing attacks or I don't know, other cybersecurity mishaps. So the CIO was wondering when would be the best time to phase this in, and I was thinking over winter break possibly. Again, I'd like to hear some feedback if you guys think, like it's gonna happen anyway, so might as well kind of get it done in a time when people aren't busy otherwise. And then another positive outcome of this is everybody's gonna get the password management software LastPass pretty much for life. They'll have the enterprise version while they're a student, and then like your student email account, you'll get to keep it after you graduate, which is sort of along ITS's trend of pushing cybersecurity awareness on the students, and password managers are a great way to not have one password for everything. And there will be a campus memo or something telling all the students what this means. So that's all I got.
Any questions or comments or concerns on this update? None? No one? DOC Logan, thank you. Let's get a mic.
Oh, like you said. Wow. When it gets phased in, the only thing about winter break is I know I don't check my email over break, and then if I got locked out of it, I just realized that I can on my own log myself in, like that 14-day thing doesn't really mean anything. But I don't know if a lot of students know that. And so I wonder if like over break, a lot of people will get locked out and then just like not check their school email over break. That's just a thought. Maybe just tell people how to, like once their passwords once they get locked out, like how to go into the password reset and do that, because nobody ever told me how to do that.
Thank you. Any other comments or concerns or feedback? Feedback is always greatly appreciated. Nothing? Okay. Senator Collinger?
For asking about feedback for the survey, maybe you could table also in front of the dining hall, just to, because some people don't really check their email, also just in general, so, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so seeing that there is nothing further to add to this from the student body, am I right? Okay, yes. Do you have anything to add? All right, thank you guys. We're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a discussion on what is Student Senate's role on campus. AC Welch, can we get a mic down, please? Thank you.
Hey, I think this is a really cool and important discussion topic, and Khadijah requested that it be on the agenda, and I think that because she's not here, maybe this would be better served of being addressed another time at a different student senate. So I will motion to table this one.
Motion to table. Okay, does anyone second that motion? Yeah, that was, okay, so President Becker. So, all right, we are going to, do we have to vote on that? Yeah, we do. Do I see a motion to previous question? Thank you, Senator Tipperwall, and a second. Senator Christian. Okay, all those in favor on tabling this discussion topic to another student senate meeting, please raise your hands nice and high. All right, all those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay, so now we are going to vote on tabling this. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. All right, A is in favor, B is opposed, C is abstaining. This is a vote on tabling this discussion topic to another student senate meeting when VPSA Tombu is present. We are waiting. Oh, the polls are now closed. With 14 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 abstention, this passes. So this discussion topic will be tabled to a later date. Thank you all for that. Okay, next item, we are going to vote on the approval of the stipend reform. So could we pull up the stipend reform? Thank you. Whoever is, oh, thank you, Senator Gumidiala, if you'd like to get us started on this.
All right, so yeah, this is the reform, the resolution for the Student Initiative Fund Committee. This has been in the works for a while now, and we finally got people from Stipend to come and talk about it, and then also the Stipend chair, Joseph, also came in and talked to us this past week, and he basically okayed everything that we had and gave new additions. So I feel like this is relatively straightforward, and there weren't a lot of big changes, right? The first one.
Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I believe that the intention of reform committee was to only have the second resolved section in here and not the first one. Unless someone from reform wants to tell me I'm wrong.
Is everything okay?
To clarify, the first resolved section in the resolution, is the section that's already in the Constitution right now. So that will be what's replaced in the Constitution, and what is underneath the second resolved will be the process that Stipend used this semester in order to get student initiatives, which everyone voted to pass when we passed it for the elastic clause. So that's all.
Thank you. All right, everyone's seeing the resolution up on the screen. Does anyone have any comments, questions, anything to add? No? Okay, Senator Gumidiala, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nope.
No? Okay, so this is a vote, so y'all know what that means. What do I see? A motion to previous question proposed by Senator Lloyd and seconded by Services Chair Timutamwa. Okay, all those in favor in moving into the voting procedure for this? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay, so now we are moving into the formal voting procedure. The polls are open, and this is a vote on the approval of the Stipend reform. We need one more. Once again, A is in favor, B is opposed, C is abstaining. Polls are closed. With 15 in favor and 1 abstention, this vote passes. So congratulations. Sorry, I lost my gavel, there we go. So that vote passes. And the stipend reform will now be in place. All right, next item on the agenda is another vote, and this is on the approval of the resolution condemning the student handbook requirement that student leaders be in good academic standing. Who is leading us off on this? Senator Gumidiala.
All right.
This is for good academic standing. No.
Yeah, so this is the same resolution that was presented a couple weeks ago. I don't believe that there were many updates to this one. Yeah, it's relatively straightforward. That's all.
Alrighty. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the resolution on the screen? I'll give you guys a few seconds to glance over it. And if not, we can move into the voting procedure. All right, Senator Gumidiala, do you have anything you'd like to add? No? All right, let's go. Motion to Senator Monteforte, seconded by Senator Gumigiala. All those in favor, moving to the voting procedure? All those opposed? All those abstaining? All right, polls are now open. We are in the voting procedure for the approval of the resolution condemning the student handbook requirements that student leaders must be in good academic standing. We're waiting on one more. All right, the polls are now closed with everyone in favor. This resolution passes. Congratulations. We have another vote, which is a vote on the approval of the resolution condemning the student handbook requirement that student leaders must be in good conduct standing. So this is about conduct now. The resolution is on the screen. Senator Gumigiala, go for it.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, you guys gave us feedback on this one. We basically determined as a committee that we didn't really think that adding statistics of the county would necessarily strengthen the resolution, and if someone had questions on institutional racism, like in the country, like we could direct you towards some books, maybe, I guess. So that was the thought on that. So yeah, so that was the only change, I guess.
Thank you. Senator Pietrasanta, can we get a mic down to Carlos, please? There should be a mic on each division of the table. So could we pass? Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello. I guess the point of putting in like statistics is more of you're making a pretty big claim and like accusation of the police department, which like yeah you can hold like for yourself, and I probably do agree. But I think if this is a resolution that's open to the general community, like Grinnell community, accessibility wise, I think a lot of people outside of Grinnell College don't have a good understanding and maybe don't have access to the type of books that would lead them to understanding institutionalized racism. So I think just in order for this to be a resolution that is very accessible and generally very clear, I think it's important to have like genuine statistics or facts that prove your point, and I believe that they're out there in order to, I don't know, make a claim like this, especially if you're going to use really strong language. Yeah, that's my only point.
Thank you. DOC Logan, there's a mic with Joshua. Could we pass it down, please? Thank you.
I think that I hear that, and I think that this resolution could possibly still stand without the clause where it says whereas people of color are more likely to be targeted by Grinnell College campus safety. Because like, do we have a stat that says that?
No, it doesn't exist.
Because I think it is like it's a fair inference, but that inference can just stand for like the prior clause where you say like whereas Grinnell College are not an exception to this, and so that kind of implies like it's a possibility that they will, you know, target these groups more, without directly saying something that if they come to us and are like, okay, but the stats don't show this, you know.
Thank you. Senator Gumigiala?
Yes, I actually agree with that, and I would agree that I'd be okay taking out this section as a whole in the resolution. Yeah, I appreciate your feedback.
DOC Logan? He'll be back in a second.
I was just generally gonna ask if somebody motioned to like strike that clause, if anybody else had concerns that were like similar to Carlos's, do you think that resolves it, or did I miss that? And we can wait. Carlos, can I ask you a question? If we were to strike that clause that I was talking about, that wouldn't like add stats, but would that address the point of like not saying something that we can't back up?
Yeah, I guess like I definitely think that the claim of like the claims that are being made, I think are generally true. But I think in a resolution that's public, it's important to have reasoning behind like making accusations, especially against like a specific group like campus safety. And so yeah, I think taking that out, yeah, would be fine. I mean, if you did have statistics, I'd rather have it be in there if that's actually like happening. Like, you know, like it's important for that to be recognized. But yeah, for me, that I'm totally fine with that. If people are, yeah, that'd be cool with me.
Thank you. Senator Gumijala?
Okay, so can I motion to change this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm thinking,
Do you motion to still vote on this on the condition that that one clause is removed? Or are you motioning to like take this away and then bring it back later?
no, the first one.
Okay.
That you said.
So, taking this clause, whereas people of color, ... taking that out of the resolution,
Yes.
and it stands as it is minus that part.
Yes, except adding the second half of that clause where it says, and are therefore less likely to be in good conduct standing relative to their white peers, and adding that to the clause before it.
So, it would say, whereas Grinnell College and the Grinnell Police Department are not an exception to institutionalized racism, an implicit bias against people of color, and Grinnell Police Department officials,
No,
and are therefore less likely to be in good conduct standing relative to their white peers.
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind?
Point of order, vague pronoun reference.
Like highlight everything before. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we could instead say who are therefore less likely to be in good conduct standing instead of and are therefore less likely. I think it would make it more clear that it's referring to the people of color.
Thank you. Is anyone writing this down? Perfect, thank you so much. Senator Timberwolf, was that a hand? No? Okay. President Becker? Can we get the mic?
Just for clarity, I think in the first clause, I don't think the change that was made to the handbook would expect student government to conduct the background checks. I think it would be student affairs that would conduct the background checks and then report back to us. So I don't think there would be a FERPA violation in the model that is. But
Do you guys mind addressing the group so that everyone can get the benefit of hearing what you're
this is in
saying?
response to the specific change that was made in the handbook this summer, correct? Yeah. This resolution's in response to the specific change that happened over the summer, correct?
Senator Gumijala, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure that I feel bad, I didn't go to reform, so I feel bad for like commenting on these things, but like, I don't know that we need the first clause. Like, I feel like if we show the student administration and say, you know, the student body has like banded together and like, does not like this change and has passed a resolution as such, they're gonna read like the first clause and be like, well, we're never gonna ask you to do the background checks, you know, like we would do the background checks. And then just kind of like, I don't want them to discount the rest of the resolution based on the first clause.
Thank
So
you. Do you see Logan? Do you see Logan?
The reason I'm glad it's in here is I think the first two clauses go together, and it's a way of clarifying that like not only are we not just uncomfortable with this provision, like we're uncomfortable with any provision that doesn't allow us to monitor our own policy. And so like it's kind of like whereas this policy would require, you know, because of FERPA administrators to do it, we couldn't do it, and then whereas we don't feel comfortable with that. That's how I read it.
Thank you. Assistant Treasurer Weber?
Hello? Yeah. Okay, in that case, maybe switching the clauses so that it's, yeah? Okay, so that it's clear that we want, like, be responsible for it, but we can't be.
So, switching the order of the clauses?
Yes.
Thank you. Senator Gumijala?
Yeah, I agree with that. We can motion to switch those. I also, yeah, I guess the thought here, also just to clarify off of like what Regina said already, was just more directed towards the fact that SGA specifically does not feel comfortable with these changes and doesn't want to play any part in enforcing them. So that was just more of the thought behind that.
Thank you. Senator Zernig? Can we get a mic to Senator Zernig, please? Thank you very much. So speedy. Mic's off.
Can I make a motion to switch the first two clauses? That's on the table. Like,
That is on the table, yeah.
Second that motion?
Yeah. My bad, I didn't suggest anyone seconding that, but it's like, it's in the brain. It's in Dylan's brain. It's gonna happen. Thank you, Senator Zernig. DOC Logan?
I don't know if we have to, do we have to vote on these edits?
So, yes,
Okay.
this is we have motioned several things to change,
Okay.
and we can vote to either table this, we could vote to pass this on the conditions that the motions that we suggested are put into place like immediately once this passes.
Okay.
So like, basically, you know, cutting down the time with like sending it back to reform, then bringing it back to student senate, like modified hella times over. Like, I don't think we need to do that. I think if Dylan, because I think Dylan wrote down everything, if you'd be willing to like read us the full document and its edits, then I would be very willing to cut down the box and we could just vote on it.
Can I say second thing? In where we edited it to whereas people of color, like combine those, I think Senator Pierce suggested who, the second part of that sentence be, people of color, comma, who are less likely. Could we go with who may be?
Who may be less likely.
Who may be less likely to be in good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not to sound like not self-assured, but just again, when it comes to like saying what something is and what something could be.
Senator Gumijala?
I second that. If that was.
Thank you, thank you. Senator Stallings, did you have something to add? Okay. Senator Pedro Santa, can we get a mic to Carlos, please? Thank you.
I just want to say also that this is really impressive that you guys, like, I know it's part of your job, but I think it's really cool that you guys took the time to like write all this out. It's really fancy language. I don't think I'd be able to do that. So thank you for being open to the edits and all of that.
Thank you. Yeah. I also want to thank everyone who came to Reform Committee also after we asked you to come, so thank you for that as well, and for the feedback.
Thank you, thank you. All right, does anyone else have anything to add for the good of the people? Senator Gumijala, do you have anything to add? Would you like to vote on this?
Yes, please.
AC Welch.
Can we just quickly review exactly what we're voting on
Yes,
so
please.
everybody knows?
I was just about to ask you if you don't mind
I can just like read the
reading
relevant
the edits.
parts.
Yes, please. All the parts that we changed, do you mind reading it in full?
So instead of as the first whereas, the first whereas will be whereas the Student Government Association does not feel comfortable allowing the administration to pre-approve those who may hold a leadership position on campus as it would undermine self-governance, followed by whereas the Student Government Association is not legally allowed to conduct background checks as this would result in a violation of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. The next two whereases read as one that states, whereas Grinnell College and the Grinnell Police Department are not an exception to institutionalized racism and implicit bias against people of color who may be less likely to be in good conduct standing relative to their white peers.
And then everything else following that has remained the same, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Is that clear for everyone? We're all on the same page with the changes made to the resolution? Senator Christian?
In the academic probation resolution that we just passed, just for consistency's sake, the order of that is the FERPA first and then the other one. Should we switch it in those one? Can I make a
Motion to
motion to switch?
So that was an item that we had already gone through on the agenda, but I hear what you're saying. So we're gonna do that, yeah. So for consistency, do you make a motion to switch the order of the two whereas statements in the other document we just passed? Is that noted? Yeah, thumbs up. Sorry, I'm totally like not following the by the book procedure, but I think we're all on the same page with this, so I appreciate all of your cooperation. Yeah, okay, noted. That motion, has it been seconded by someone? Because we gotta do that. Senator Pietrasanta, thank you. Okay, we're not gonna vote on that. Senator Zornick, do you have anything to add?
I noticed in the readback on the third whereas statement in the edit that we made, who may be less likely, I think that therefore, I hate to just like do this over semantics, but I think that therefore is important in that it demonstrates like a possible causal relationship and that our issue is specifically with institutionalized racism and implicit bias. So can I make a motion to include the word therefore?
Mm-hmm. AC Welch?
Second, and I made the change.
Thank you very much. DOC Logan?
Information, what does it read? What does it read?
Whereas Grinnell College and the Grinnell Police Department are not an exception to institutionalized racism and implicit bias against people of color, who therefore may be less likely to be in good conduct standing relative to their white peers.
Thank you. Okay, are there any further comments regarding this resolution? No? Before we move into the voting procedure, I'm going to backtrack us. Are we all on the same page with how the previous resolution passed about good academic standing? We are cool with changing the first two statements so it's consistent with the second thing that we're about to vote on. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Thumbs to the side. Okay, thank you. So, now, everyone's on the same page with, oh, are we okay in the corner? We good? All right, thank you. Now we can move into the voting procedure, seeing that we are all up to speed. Is there a motion to the previous question? Senator Pietrasanta, seconded by Senator Monteforte. Okay, all those in favor? Raise your hands nice and high. All those opposed? Is that an opposition? Okay, all those opposed? All those abstaining? All right, we are now in the voting procedure. The polls are open. A is in favor, B is opposed, C is abstaining. This is for a vote on the approval of the resolution condemning the student handbook requirement that student leaders must be in good conduct standing, including all of the changes and edits that we just made to it. All right? We need one more. Is it not working? Oh. Did it die or is it working? Yeah, we have 16 now. Oh, okay, cool. All right, thank you. So, the results are 15 in favor, 1 abstention. This vote for the resolution passes. Thank you all for your cooperation on that. All right, now we have one more vote, and that is on the approval of the resolution condemning the addition of the Assistant Director of Student Activities. Senator Gumijala.
Okay, there weren't a ton of big changes to this one. We added this list of student programming just to really pack a punch, I guess, like behind how many people they're affecting with this. I think that was the only big-ish change from last time we saw this, which I think was 2 weeks ago. That's all.
Thank you. Treasurer Ercolani. Can we get a mic, please? Thank you very much.
Just a note for everyone, and also like a sneak preview at the student initiative results. This was one of the initiatives. The initiative was no associate director of student activities. The short description was the ADSA is taking money and independence away from SGA and Spark for reasons that have not been adequately articulated to the student body. The student activities fee should not be used for a full-time staff oversight position whose very presence goes against the core value of self-governance. The student initiative passed with 91.4% of students voting yes.
Thank you, Treasurer Ercolani. Are there any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or feelings on this resolution? Senator Stallings?
Motion to previous question.
Okay, I'm gonna wait at least like a minute so that people can read it, just for like accessibility reasons. DOC Logan?
I think it's fair to expect voting members to review materials beforehand.
Thank you. I agree with that, but just so that everyone has like the full chance to look over the document. I like that thought, though, but I just want to make sure everyone has a chance to like look at it in its light right now.
Just real quick, I don't think, does SGA still fund ACEs in any capacity? I thought that was DSA. Okay, so motion to remove ACEs from that list.
We have a motion to remove ACEs from the list of SGA funding. Does anyone second that? Treasurer Ercolani?
I was very much wrong. We do provide funding to ACES. However, I would still support removing that because of the fact that we wouldn't have an option about whether or not we could cut funds from ACES because we would just be having to pay that anyways, otherwise events couldn't happen. So that is not an area where cuts would happen. However, if that is meant to rather be a list of things that we support, then yeah, it's an appropriate addition. But if it's things that we would cut, I would recommend making some changes to that list.
Thank you. AC Welch?
I feel like it's appropriate to include ACEs just because that is part of the cost of having an event, and if we have less money, then like we will have fewer events, and like ACEs is like a central cost to like any party or concert.
All right, Senator Gomijala.
Yeah, I think I agree with Dylan, and I'd agree with leaving it in the resolution.
Okay, have any motions been made to remove that in the past 5 minutes? Did I miss anything? No? Okay, so earlier there was a motion to move to the previous question, and I feel it's appropriate to let that happen. So does anyone second that? AC Welch? All those in favor? Moving to the voting procedure for this? All those in favor? Raise your hands nice and high. All those opposed? Abstaining? Okay, the polls are now open. And this is a vote on the approval of the resolution condemning the addition of the Assistant Director of Student Activities. We're waiting on 2 more. All right. Thank you. With all those in favor, this resolution passes. Thank you all. Next, we're going to move on to the cabinet reports. AC Welch?
I have nothing to add.
Thank you. Treasurer Ercolani?
Nothing to add.
Assistant Treasurer Weber?
Nothing to add, but do hit me up with show recommendations. I wasn't kidding about that. I need them.
Thank you. DOC Logan? Behind you.
The only thing to just emphasize, I think I said this last time that the poster quit, for the sake of ease, I'm just gonna poster on those dates with the assistance of anybody that needs extra hours, like seriously let me know if you could just be an extra hand. And then I'll be asking the poster from last semester who will be back next semester to poster for us. But if you could just let people know that in some way, because there's no good way that I can think of letting people know what's up. Thank you. Yes.
Is that poster like two ERs?
Post.
Like a poster now?
Yes.
But like,
Yes. We do have posters.
the position of poster.
Yes. The question was,
Thank you.
is it supposed to be poster? The answer is yes. SGA has posters and no posterer.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, DC Logan. Vipa Murphy is not here. President Becker is not here. VPSA Tombu, not here. Council Chair Christensen. Thank you. Services Chair Tomotomo. Can we get a mic to Joshua, please?
This is just one thing. I said we have only 1,500. Turns out we have 6,500 because water polo isn't coming directly from SPC, even though it was submitted to SPC. That makes me very happy. So, just we're not doing as bad as I thought.
Thank you. H. Chair Mystic is not here. Okay. Now, the adjourning motion, H.C. Welch. Does anyone second that? Senator Gumigiala. All right, all those in favor of closing the meeting? All those in favor, raise your hands nice and high. All those opposed? All those abstaining? All right, thank you all for your time. We will see you here next Sunday.